Hello, this time I'm going to look at some garden lights from Amazon. I'm intrigued by these as they have a larger solar panel and are supposed to have a larger than normal 18650 battery inside, but as we know, what they say is not always what you get. So we're going to take this apart and have a look at some of the options, because this also comes with a remote control which allows you to add timers and change some of the modes. So let's have a look at what it's like inside first. And I'm going to use my trusty Ifixit toolkit. Now this does have a number of different screws on the back, 8. I've got a similar set to this, and you can see it started to light up already because I've turned the panel over. I've got a similar set to this, but it's only got a couple of screws on the back and a much smaller panel than this, and no remote control function. So let's have a look. I think we're probably on that. Oh my goodness, I've got the wrong... Oh, they're really in tight. Let's try a slightly bigger screwdriver. There we go. Okay, now we're working. This does come with a ground stake and also attachments to let you put it into a wall. You get a couple of plugs and a couple of screws. You've got 2 controls on here in the back. One is simply a mode switch, so that you don't actually need the remote control to enable, I think there's 6 different modes of operation. And one is just a simple on-off switch. And you can see here, that's the receiver for the infrared remote control. Right, let's have a look. What have we got inside? Okay, simple circuit, 18650 battery. Let's just take this out, if I can, if it's not soldered. It's soldered lugs, so I can't tell easily, and it seems to be glued in there. It is glued in there. That's a bit of a bugger. Okay, let's see if I can break the glue, and I'll come back to you in a minute. So I have managed to dislodge this with the silicone adhesive I think it's using, I don't even know, but it's come off. But there's no statement of capacity on the battery itself. On the Amazon order it states it as being 1200 milliampere hours, so at least it's not overly optimistic. It's not 3000, 3600, 4000. And it says it's supposed to charge in 4 to 6 hours, and it works between 14 and 16 hours. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to charge this and discharge it and see what actually the capacity ends up being. What I will say about this enclosure, it does have a seal. This white piece here is a seal, not rubber exactly. It's like silicone or something. So there's a shot of the top of the circuit board, and then underneath you've got that. I hope you can see here we've got a very simple remote control. What we've got is power on, power off, up and down buttons to cycle through the 6 programs for lighting, various flashing and dimming modes. We've got direct access to 4 power levels, 25, 50, 75, 100%. We've also got direct access to 3 timer modes. So after running this down to flat, I charged it back up again. Wasn't really expecting too much out of this unbranded, no-name battery, but I actually got pretty close to capacity. It ran to 1166 milliamp hours and took about 2¼ hours to charge, and I did it at 600 milliamps, so it worked out pretty well. Right, let's put this back together. I've resoldered the end of the batteries. Make sure that that fits in snugly. Yeah, that's fine. The other thing that happens with these, of course, is this grommet here can get caught and misaligned. But let's have a look at the light in action now. There are 4 different set brightness levels: 25, 50, 75 and 100%. The product description also states that there are 8 different lighting modes, although I could only find 7, and here they are. An affiliated link to these lights and the toolkit I used will be mentioned in the description below. As it doesn't get dark enough here until about 9 PM to activate the lights, I've only been running a 3-hour timer, and I'm happy to say it lasts 3 hours no problem at all. Later on in the year I'll be able to test the other 2 timer modes, the 5-hour and the 8-hour, and see how well they last. I do like this style of light, although they're more prone to damage than the smaller LEDs, as you can step on them and damage them quite easily. As for improvements, well, I'd love to see one with 100 globes rather than 50. You can get another style of lights that has 100 smaller LED emitters, but nothing in this length. Maybe they should add a second battery and market a longer one. I'd certainly be in the market for that. Please remember to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you next time.